I'm Michael.
I'm Ralph.
Welcome to Munoz and Munoz.
Come check it out. Here at Munoz and Munoz, every case is important to us. Big or small, small or big, we're here to help you.
And here also, privacy is our #1 priority for all of our clients. So come check it out. Our #1 priority is serving the community. We want to give the best attorney service out there in the industry. We're here to help you. Please call us for any personal injury or criminal defense needs that you may need.
So thank you guys for visiting our firm. As you can see, I'm here, Michael's here, always ready to serve you guys for any questions. And please, do not hesitate to call us for anything you need. It could be the simple question, we're here for you. Y sí, hablamos español.
Shoulders, knees, and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And eyes and cheeks and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Affordable self-care from professional massage therapists and estheticians. It's what we do. Massage Envy, where better begins.
Hey everybody, I hope you guys are enjoying the show with Let's Connect Now. My name is Danielle Wood. I'm with Prospectors Federal Credit Union, a division of Certified Federal. You guys want to contact us regarding any banking needs or even auto loans and personal loans, feel free to contact me at any time. You can reach me at 909-396-9688 or 909-504-7371. I'm looking forward to talking and speaking with you all soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Connect Now, your business resource. And I'm excited because, yes, Monica was...
I just said do not say you're excited, but okay, you did say it.
Okay, I'm always excited. I'm excited because
to be
now
here,
I have...
We love it.
I have Valerie and Monica here. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm always surrounded by powerful women. You know, I think it's because the women always, men go in the clouds and the women just bring us down and just bring that foundation for us. Because I could just get out there.
I'm glad you recognized that. Finally.
You're very welcome, JR.
It's called growth. So who do we have today? Oh my God, I'm excited. I'm excited again.
We're always excited for our guests. I mean, that's just the reality
it's
of
the
it,
energy,
right?
yeah.
But yes, today we have Veronica Corona.
Yes.
So yes, we flew her in from Glendale, California.
Yes. Oh my
Right.
God.
Oh my God,
that helicopter ride was fun.
Yes. Was there traffic up there? Was there traffic?
No, a little bit.
Thank you, Plaza Westcovina, for allowing us to do that.
She landed in the parking structure.
But no, thank you, Veronica, for making the time. I know that you're absolutely busy and just really appreciate your time and making the time to come in. And yes, so your business resource is all about empowering business owners, bringing resources to you, and also bringing subject matter experts such as Veronica Corona that could actually help you scale up your business. So with that being said, tell us about you.
Oh, wow. Where do I begin? Hi, everybody. As Valerie mentioned, my name is Veronica Corona, and I happen to be a business owner. I built a multi-million-dollar janitorial company and had that company for 15 years. I've been in the industry now. I try to get away, but I'm going into 26 years of being in the industry.
26 years. Wow.
Of being in the cleaning industry because I sold my business and I walked away January 31st of 2023. And somehow I get pulled back in. You know, I went in to work for a franchise company that was a janitorial franchise, and that was a great experience because I learned a lot about franchising. Then in the last year and a half, I've been pretending to be a consultant, and when I say pretending, because I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grow up, and so I was like, do I want to be a consultant? Do I want to go get a job? What do I want to do? And then January of this year, I decided, okay, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go all in and figure this out. And I've been doing consulting. It's just been growing and been consulting different types of businesses, but primarily janitorial businesses. That's why I keep saying I keep getting pulled back in. And I recently had a friend of mine say to me, thank you, Carla Sandoval, for that. She says, why are you trying to run away from what you know?
Ooh.
And I was like, ooh.
Oh, I like that.
That hit home.
Yeah, like,
why are you trying to run away from what you know?
Because I was like, no, I want to do something else. And this is like my third attempt to try to leave janitorial industry, but yet I get pulled it back in. and so it's been a learning curve, to become a consultant, because it's like starting all over again. But one of the things I've learned from some of my mentors and my friends and my network, because I always say your network is your net worth. Yes. And my network always says to me, well, this time you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience. And one of my mentors said, not only by experience, but you're starting with money. Because when you started your business, how much money did you have? Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of money when I started my business. But, I sold the business, so now you're in a different position in life. And so, I've been doing consulting. It's been kicking off, and it's been great. Like I said, I not only consult janitorial companies. Obviously, that's my specialty. That's like my strength. But I've been doing other businesses as well.
No, and it's true. I mean, you can be a consultant for other businesses because the structure is a structure.
Yeah, business is business.
Business is business.
Business is industries. And if you want to scale and grow your business, the advice is going to be for all the business owners the same thing. It's all, and I always say you need to go out and network. You want to grow your business, you need to go out and network and make new connections. But most importantly, one of the things I notice with a lot of business owners, they don't have their finances in order. And
that
the
is very
finances
true.
are your foundation. It's like building a house. The foundation has to be set before they build the house, otherwise the house can collapse, right?
Right.
So if your finances are not in order as a business owner, then you need to look at that, right?
And that's probably the hardest thing for, through our whole experience. It's what we hear the most. I'm not bankable. The banks won't lend me. How do I do this? How do I do that? But when you look at their taxes, it's just like, that's not even your name. Like, whose name is that?
Yeah, and the finances start in order, right? It starts with your taxes. Start even how you're collecting the money, because sometimes it's because, especially, so I never clean houses. My business was mainly commercial office cleaning, right? Office buildings, shopping centers. I managed several malls, by the way. As a matter of fact, I came to this contract, to this mall here, where we're at. And one of the companies I worked for, we had the cleaning contract here, so I'm very familiar with this place.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is, like, those are the kind of projects we were doing, buildings. I'm talking, 400,000 or 500,000 square foot buildings, not little small office buildings, but like the big office buildings.
Yes.
But lately, like, one of the things I've been being a consultant for is a lot of ladies working in the clean industry, but they're doing residential. And the residential is a little bit more informal versus commercial, because the moment I walk in here, I need to have my insurance. I need to have, I need to have money to cover payroll for at least, 60 days, because it's different. You're talking to the bigger payroll, right? Bigger payroll.
Right.
Where in the residential, they get paid on the spot, right? They get paid.
True.
And a lot of times they get paid cash, so they don't always keep a good record, right? So then if you're getting paid cash and not keeping good records, how are you going to be bankable? Or I should say, how are they going to finance you if you want to get a loan in the future? So it's really important. I had a client that I had to help, and she was commingling her funds. As I said, so you're telling me you pay your employees and buy your cleaning products and supplies from your personal checking and the same checking account that you go get your mani and pedis and your hair done? She goes, yeah. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. So we had to learn to separate all of that. And she was having a hard time, because now it becomes more legitimate. And I think she wasn't ready to be legitimate, but yeah, she was earning quite a bit of money. And I'm like, who's your CPA? Because let me tell you, you need a strong CPA, a strong attorney, those are, and a strong banker, right? Those are the three pillars. And I would say today, a strong insurance broker, right?
Talking about having a board, right? About having these different, like, your business attorney, your banker, your consultant. We're actually going to have a conference for the California Hispanic Chamber. So I don't think she's covered that just yet, but she's actually the chairwoman. And I'm actually hosting a panel on having your personal board, of how important it is, because you're good at what you do, right? But as the business owner, you have to know when you get help also. So Veronica, tell us a little bit about that, about upcoming event and conference.
So thank you for leading that way. So I happen to be the chairwoman of the board for the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, which has been around for 47 years. And in the 47-year history, I'm only the second woman to serve in this position.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Congrats.
and thank you. And it took 23 years to even get here. So I'm very proud of that. I know that I have some big shoes to fill. As far as leadership is concerned, I always say, it's a big responsibility. But I'm always up for the challenge, because it's about being aligned with your purpose and making a difference in the community. And I'm excited because we're going to have our 46th annual statewide convention, August 20, 21st, and 22nd in Pomona, California. And this year's theme is building connections and creating opportunities. And it's not all about the network. You have to get out there and create those, build those relationships and create the opportunities for you. again, one of the things, I just did a video on this. I haven't posted it yet, but somebody said, "Don't you get tired of networking?" I said, "No. Why would I get tired of networking if I'm trying to grow my business? But most importantly, I'm building new connections.
Right.
You're building new connections, and if you don't get out there and build new connections, then you're gonna get stuck and not grow. Again, your network is your net worth.
Man, she's been dropping nuggets all morning. I'm loving this.
But you know, when you walked in, I said, "Oh my God, I recognize her." And I think I've seen you on LinkedIn, and I've seen you on other social media sites, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I recognize her." I remember seeing you on stage because we had the opportunity to be there last year, thanks to Valerie, and we had never experienced something like that in I guess, before COVID, that these things were not happening, but we were so excited to be there. We saw how well it was put together.
I bought a suit to go.
Awesome.
So I was dressed nice at the gala. It was a high caliber event.
Yeah, we came back with so many different resources. We saw people that we already knew that were there, that were participating, and saw you on stage looking beautiful, and everything that you did, and it was a really great experience.
Yes, we came back very inspired and started to do certain events because of the inspiration from your event.
Thank you. I love hearing that because that's what it's about, right? We want to make sure. And last year's theme was inspire, empower, and embrace.
And
right?
inspired us.
Yeah. So I'm so happy to hear that it inspired you. And that's what we want to do. We want to be that resource for all the community. We're a statewide organization where we represent the interests of over 900,000 small businesses throughout the state, and which is I don't remember. I think I may have that one wrong. I think it's 500,000, but it's in the hundred thousands of businesses that we represent. And the whole purpose of convention is to make that impact with the local community and how we can further expand and be a resource for not just business owners, but for the organizations that are helping the local business owners.
Veronica, tell us a little bit about what our guests can actually expect out of the conference.
Okay, well, there's a combination of a lot of things, right? Definitely the workshops, right? We have different workshops. As Valerie says, she's going to be leading a workshop about having your own personal board.
And we'll be there.
Yeah, which is, yes, we'll all be there. Which is, and thank you for inviting me to be on that workshop. I can't, I don't know, I have to send out a shout out to our staff. Our president CEO, you've interviewed him, Julian Canete, and our staff over there, all the staff in the office. They're working so hard. And I told Valerie, I don't have a schedule. I'm on their schedule those 3 days, right? Those 3 days. So you can expect a lot of workshops, a lot of learning, because it's about educating. So our 3 pillars for the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce is advocacy, education, and supporting small business. And so you'll see a lot of educational workshops, right? A lot of we have workshops on. Let's see, I know that you're doing that. I know we're doing a workshop on financing, and we're doing another workshop on covering your assets. It's my favorite, assets. You have to cover your assets. So really important. Is that rated PG? Okay. Just wanna make sure. One of my favorites obviously is Latinas Mean Business, because as Latinas, we mean business, and it's really important. So we have different educational workshops that has different realms of education. And we're doing a Spanish workshop. I'll be leading that, and we're going to be talking about building relationships
in Spanish.
In Spanish, we're going to be doing in Spanish, and we will have translators because we have a lot of community that has requested for us to have Spanish, more Spanish workshops. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm leading one of the Spanish ones. That's the only workshop I know that I'm leading as of now. But very excited of the workshops. We also have our Hispanic luncheon, which will take place on Thursday, and then workshops all day, and then in the evening we have, we do have some fun too. We have the Noches Tropical, which is formerly the white party, so it's white attire, but it's called Noches Tropical. On Friday is my favorite day. All the days are my favorite, but my top favorite day is Friday because it's Latina Empresaria Day, and it happened because we had a lot of Latinas coming to our organization and wanting more. So we have Latina Empresaria Day, which is a Latina Empresaria luncheon. We have some amazing awardees that are community leaders and entrepreneurs that will be honored that day, as well as some amazing keynote speakers. You're going to have some amazing keynote speakers, not just on Friday, but Thursday as well.
Are the men able to sneak in and at least get inspired?
No, we have, we're also inclusive. We support everybody. We want the men there. I'll tell you, the men are very supportive. The men are very supportive. So yes, you're allowed to come in on Friday.
All right, yes.
No, definitely that'll be fun. And then that evening we have our gala, where we're going to be, we induct our board. We induct our board of directors. But I want to also share that on Thursday, which is a Hispanic luncheon, where we'll be graduating our inaugural cohort for our RISE program. So it's a program that I created. that I wanted to be part of my legacy with the chamber, and the RISE is an acronym for Results, Innovation, Scaling with Efficiency. Okay, so RISE, like you rise your
RISE,
business to the next level. And a shout out to my RISE cohort who have been dedicating the last 6 months of their life, 2 days a month, to create a growth plan for their business. So we've covered different things. We covered sales. We covered HR, hiring practices. We covered finances. Finances was the number one thing we did.
Yeah.
The number one thing. That was a kickoff, and then we kind of closed it off. Our last session will be next Tuesday, and I'm excited for them. There's 18 members in our cohort that have dedicated the last 6 months with us. So they'll be graduating. And
Wow,
this is
congratulations on that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank you.
This is a lot of good stuff. It's
Yeah.
all packed in 3 days.
I
This
know,
is
like,
crazy.
it feels like a lot of stuff, and it is, but it gets done in 3 days. It gets done,
Yeah.
and actually, it gets done in two days. The first day, which is Wednesday, we have a golf tournament in the morning. So I think there's a few spots left. So make sure to sign up if you want to go out there in the green and golf. I'm debating if I want to golf. I don't know how hard it's going to be, but but it's a lot of fun. We'll be there in the morning at least, and then in the evening we have our welcome reception, which is going to be taking place on the fairgrounds at the Fairplex.
Okay.
Because we will be in Pomona this year. I'm
Yeah, right here in
excited.
Pomona, yes.
Just right here around the corner from where we're at right now, right?
I'm excited.
We kind of wanted to drive somewhere at least, right?
Yeah, we're like, man, we don't get to stay anywhere now. Can we live right here?
Oh yeah. Well, you're welcome to stay in Pomona. I think there's still some rooms available at the Sheraton Fairplex. So if you book your rooms, and if you need details, look us up at chcc2025.com. All the details and registration, the scheduling will be on there.
Also, they could go to greaterwestcovina.com. We put
Okay.
your information, the
Thank
whole
you.
chamber, onto our website.
Oh, we
and
appreciate
the link
that.
is there as well, so they could go to the website.
Thank you.
But I'm excited because I have to say, this young lady last year captivated us in her class.
Okay.
I mean, she was very, you know it too. She was very
almost
interactive.
wrote a huge check.
Yeah, she was very
$1 million.
interactive.
Somebody wanted
Almost,
to sign
yeah,
it.
$1 million.
So I do
I
recommend.
would've signed it.
I don't know how I was going to pay you back. But
No, but it was a great class. You know, we went there and we complimented her. We said, because she always said that she's not that great in front of people. But I was like, what do you mean? Your interaction was amazing. Because I like to critique and stuff. So, and I've just seen her engagement and how she took charge. It was good. So I do say, check out Valerie's class. It's going to be amazing.
Valerie Rivas.
Valerie Rivas.
Workshop. Her workshop.
Workshop, not class. Sorry, workshop.
Well,
Sorry.
it is kind of a class, and and I'm glad that you're touching on the interactive and the speaker because I'm a Toastmaster. I've been a Toastmaster for 15 years, and for those of you who don't know, we're not toasting toast. It's Toastmasters is a public speaking forum, and let me tell you, it's the best investment you can make on yourself, and a lot of that has to do with how you express yourself. Right? Are you an interactive speaker? Are you a storyteller? Are you motivational, inspirational? I know that I'm a storyteller, but I'm also very interactive.
Nice.
Anytime I get booked for any kind of classes, I make it very interactive because that's how you engage people's attention.
Right.
But we all have different styles. Everybody has a different style. So learning, and I also have to learn. Recently, in the last couple of years, I've learned how to be a better speaker on Zoom. Right, because that changes the one thing is standing in front of the room, and your movements and everything. But another thing is being a speaker online. You have to really keep everybody engaged and
Yes.
awake. Most importantly, awake, because it's easy to doze off. And I don't mean doze off literally. Well, maybe some people. But, no comment. But I'm talking, like dozing off, meaning they start doing other stuff, so they're not engaged. So it's important to keep the individuals engaged.
Yeah, I'm at fault for that.
No, we all are.
Yeah. I have to admit.
I admit it too. We all are, because it's so easy. Like
Turn off the video, huh?
Valerie's talking. Let me go check my emails while she's
Yes.
presenting.
Yes.
why is it going to be me, Veronica?
No, you're the one talking. I'm the one that's checking my emails. But it doesn't mean that you're not engaged, because it's just a bad habit, and I'm
Right.
guilty of it. So I'm learning. It's really important to stay present, but stay present even live workshop, right? Because for me, when I see somebody's busy, I'm saying, hey, can you come here? Like I'm going to volunteer you, because and then they're like, what happened? Because they were on their phone. But I do it kind of
Right.
a little bit on purpose, and I don't mean to put people on the spot, but I always from the beginning, if I'm gonna like the Spanish workshop's gonna be interactive, and who I'm gonna pick on, the people who are not paying attention on their phone, they're on their phones.
Right.
So I'm also working on that myself, that I need to be more present. And I think we all, I challenge all of us to be more present, because it's so easy. There's so many distractions today, right?
Yeah, there
and so
is.
I invite us all, that was one of the components we talked to at the RISE cohort about being present.
RISE, yeah.
If you're here, you're here. I mean, imagine if I'm here and I'm let me see who's texting me over here. Or, we have a bad habit of doing that.
Yes.
But we're being live. It's
We're all guilty of that.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
Veronica, tell me a little bit about, I know that you've helped a lot of different business owners, coached them on how to speak, how to pitch. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, well, there's different pitches, right? You have your elevator pitch, which is 30 seconds or less. And then there's the pitch that if you're going to stand up in a room and pitch and say, okay, you have share something about your business. And I think it's really important. Most of us are not prepared to do that. And then there's your sales pitch. If you're going to sell something, like the Shark Tank, those people that go on Shark Tank, they have to really prepare to sell.
They're brutal.
They have a little bit of time, and they really have to pitch it and sell it. And you have to. For me, I think it's important to sell yourself without selling yourself, right? And it's funny because I just with the youth chamber, we just had a session yesterday evening about their elevators pitch because they're going to their first networking on Thursday. Tomorrow I'm going to be there with them. We're going to a networking event, and I want to be there to support our youth chamber. And a lot of them want to know how are they going to introduce themselves. And I was like, well, you have an advantage. You can say you're part of the youth chamber. That's already a conversation starter.
Right.
Yes.
So I think it's really important to share nuggets because sometimes people want to share their whole life story in the 30 seconds or in a minute.
Yes.
And you can't.
Right.
So you have
Right.
to leave them, you have to give them enough information like the why, the what, and the who, right? Like, what are you solving? What kind of problems having? So why? So I'm going to, can I share my elevator speech from
Yes.
my
course,
cleaning
we wanna
business?
hear it.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
So I'm going to share the
absolutely.
cleaning business because the recovering perfectionist in me still struggling with my consulting pitch because I keep changing it. I keep changing it because I want to shorten. I want to be direct and to the point. But I still know my elevator speech. Like I know it. Like I said it so many times that I just it comes out naturally. But this is how it goes. So pay attention to what I'm going to do and catch and see if you catch what I do because then we're going to break it down. Do you know what service goes unnoticed until it's not done?
No.
If you guess cleaning, you're absolutely right. My name is Veronica Corona, president of CM Cleaning Solutions. We provide janitorial services throughout the state of California and beyond. We keep it clean while you sleep. And remember, just because it smells fabulously clean doesn't mean it's clean.
And that's my favorite part.
And if you had to say it in Spanish, how would you say it in Spanish?
Pero nomás porque huele fabuloso no quiere decir que está limpio. But I use the fabulosely because, everybody knows what fabuloso is,
Yeah.
even if you say it in thing. So did you notice that I opened up with a question?
I was going to say that. So you made me think right away.
Yeah, made you think. And then because some people that know me, they know I'm going to say cleaning, but people that don't know me, like, what service goes unnoticed?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm asking the question, but I'm not
Yeah.
expecting an
I
answer.
started
Just kind of like,
thinking
you know why? Because that's going to capture everybody's attention. They're going to pay attention because
Yes.
we're all like, oh, I know the answer. Right, I may have an answer, so it's really important that I'm very interactive. Even when I do my my speeches, when I do public speaking, I was recently. Oh, you were there, as keynote speaker for NLBWA, and I asked several questions because I feel like when you ask questions, everybody's like, "Wait, she asked a question. I wonder if she's gonna ask anything else." And they're going to want to raise their hand. So, and I said what I did. I didn't have to go into detail that we mop and dust and sweep or vacuum. I just said we keep it clean, right? Like, I talked about commercial cleaning. Because we don't do residential, so I focus on the commercial. And we were in the whole state of California and beyond.
No, your pitch was perfect.
No, we love it. We have one of our President Circle members, Athens Services. Shout out to them. But their elevators pitches. I like to talk about. I like to talk trash. And we love it. It actually, exactly. Because, that's what it represents, and we love it. I guess we need to be working on that. We might need your.
I was hoping you wouldn't ask us.
I was about to say, are you ready for your elevator? Because I put me on the spot.
Oh, speaking. No habla español. No habla inglés. No inglés. I don't know.
Is
there any books or a book that you recommend people to get about pitch? Because the book I've got introduced to was Pitch Anything, which I believe is a great book, and I just introduced her to it. But is there something you recommend?
You know what? So my learning experience has come from Toastmasters, and it was actually a fellow Toastmaster that gave me that question. For my elevator speech, because we were at a training and they were talking about how you present yourself just in general and anything you do. And she says, I have an idea for you. And I said, what is it? He goes, why don't you say this? And she said, well, service goes unnoticed until it's not done. I said, oh my God. And it's true. Shout out to all the cleaning companies, because unfortunately cleaning is a service that really goes unnoticed until it's not done. But we miss one trash can and there's like a 5 email trail about it.
Yeah.
But we take out thousands of trash cans and there's no one email about it, right? So it goes unnoticed until it's not done. You walk into a place, and I'm still guilty of. I walk to a place, the first thing I look at is how clean is this place.
Uh-oh.
Like,
Guys, we told them there was a vacuum when the guy
There was
here.
no dust. There was no dust. It was very, very well vacuumed. But it's already a habit, right? It's already a habit. Sometimes I don't say anything anymore because I don't want anybody to think that I'm like walking into your house and looking. I don't, because I walk.
I'm already picturing your home being spotless.
No, I'm pickier when I go to a public place, believe it or not, because that's what I never clean homes besides my own, right, or my mom's. But I never clean homes. But when I walk into an office building or I walk into a restaurant, I've walked out of restaurants just because the bathroom was dirty. Because I'm thinking, okay, well, what does the kitchen look like?
Right.
You know, and I don't want to put anybody on blast. But the bottom line is, you know, let me tell you, COVID was one of the best things that ever happened, because the level of cleaning came to another level. There's a place that I frequently had visited, and their bathroom was always a mess. And around COVID, that place was spotless. But I recently went back; it's the same again, and it makes me sad because, like, you know, cleanliness is good for the environment. Like, you have to maintain a clean environment, whether it's your kitchen, your bathroom, especially in a public area. You have people coming from the, you know, outside. You know what they're bringing in. So don't get me started on that. That's all.
No.
As you can see, I'm still very passionate about cleaning.
No, she's like that too at her house.
I agree with you. There's a lot of places that, you know, I can't mention the names, but we've driven by there. He said, how come we never been there? I'll tell you later. And it's just, I just won't go back.
Yeah.
It just means that much to me.
Yeah, and especially if you show up and then you start, if you really start looking at, don't get me started. If you just start looking, oh my God, underneath the seats and everything. I mean, like, I remember one time, like, we were at a restaurant and I'm doing like this to the rail, right?
Oh, no.
And then a friend of mine's like, stop it, Veronica. I said, I know, I'm sorry. And just recently, I was
She just looks at
I'm
you.
like, wait, why'd you look at
no,
me?
I was like, no, I'm kind of like, no, I didn't look at you for any reason. I was like, oh, okay, so I was on a date and we were like on a rooftop, and I'm looking and I'm busy taking a picture of the cobweb instead of the sunset.
Oh my God.
I'm like, there's a cobweb. What if the itsy bitsy spider comes out, right?
Oh no. That is funny.
And that just told me that they don't dust the
Yeah.
rail. But I'm literally sitting right there and the rail's right here. You can see the cobweb, right?
You just wonder. Yeah, I know. I'm like that too.
But you know, I was trained for that, right? I've been in the industry for so long. I have it. That's why I was like, do I disclose that or not? But I even posted a picture when you're trying to be romantic and looking at the sunset. But I'm busy looking at that. But I'm busy looking at the cobweb
I
that's
hope you
right
didn't
there.
tag the restaurant.
No, of course not. I didn't even say where I was at. But you know, and it, I mean. It's an outdoor, right?
Yeah.
So the cobweb, but it's just funny because that's the thing. But that cobweb wasn't there like that afternoon. That's been there, right?
Yeah.
So
It's true. Yeah. I love it. That's so
I'm like, is that appropriate to say this on? Like, I
No,
know
it's pretty
okay.
fine.
Yeah, but I didn't disclose location. I didn't disclose.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's
Yeah, as long as we're not hurting the business. But no, Veronica, this was fun, and I do appreciate you coming in today. But you know, I usually like to close out with like maybe some advice that we can give out to our audience, right? Our entrepreneurs, something that they can take home and start implementing today. What would you say that is?
One of my favorite quotes is an African proverb, and it says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you need to go together in community, because when you do it together, you know, you go further." Right? You go further. When you do it alone, yeah, you may go fast, but you may go too fast that you can stumble. Right? So it's very important. And, you know, I always say this, and I'm going to repeat it every time. You are the company you keep. Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me who you're with, and I'll tell you who you are. So if you want to surround yourself, it's important you surround yourself with people that are like-minded.
That's right.
Right? And if you want to grow, then you want to surround yourself with people that are already growing or are at a different level. So I think that's really important.
I love
thank
that.
you. I
love
Yeah,
it.
no, thank you. I got chills. Look at that. But no, she's absolutely correct. And what that means is go to the California Hispanic Chamber
Yes.
Conference.
Yes. You'll definitely see
And
all of
grow
us
your
there.
network. Yes.
We will all be there. And remember, if you want to build connections and create opportunities, join us August 20, 21st, 22nd, the Sheraton Fairplex in Pomona.
All right.
Exciting.
So you know, when you're on stage, you know, you can just give me a hand signal, like, and I'll know that, like, it's me. She told us to do it to me. I don't know why I'm doing this, guys, but and I'm like, yes.
I just met him.
I just no, we're excited. We are really excited. To
No,
go.
I'm
It's gonna be a
excited to
fun
have
time.
you there. It'll be a fun. It's always fun. It's always fun, and it's a great learning experience. But most importantly, you start building your network. Right?
Yes, it's all about
It's
building
not
network,
about networking. It's about building relationships.
Yeah, we're excited to meet new people. That's the thing. We're always excited to meet new people.
Yeah,
and
last
stuff.
year being there, we were anticipating if the new location where it was going to be held at was going to be announced at that time, and it wasn't. So we were just like, I wonder where it's going to be at. We're already planning ahead and thinking, okay, you know, we thought maybe we'll fly this time. But
That's something to consider. Do we announce it or we leave it as an element of surprise? Because we
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yes.
a great thing because like I said, I was already anticipating and planning to go back. So
Yeah,
so
and our good friend is Monique.
Oh yes, of course.
Our good friend is Monique.
Monique.
Chamber.
Well, thank you for saying that because I do need to send out a shout out to Monique and Minerva. Monique is with the Pomona Chamber of Commerce, and Minerva is with the Cámara de Comercio Hispana de Pomona, and they're both our hosting chambers. So every year when we have convention, we go to the different regions. So I want to make sure I emphasize on that. Pomona falls under the Inland Empire region. I know it's LA County, but it falls under the Inland Empire region. So we go to the different regions because our goal is that we make an impact in the local economy as well. So what we do is we do our best to get proposals from the local business owners, whether it's the balloons, the flowers, whatever it is that we're going to need, the services that are going to be needed, because there's a lot of services that are needed, to put a 3-day convention together. So shout out, I know that Monique and Minerva have been working really hard with our president, CEO, and Hema and all our staff. Now Hema is our chief of staff at the chamber, and all the staff over there to bring this convention and make it another amazing convention like the one we went last
That's wonderful.
year.
That's
Been
wonderful.
working very diligently.
That's wonderful. Can people still sign up to be part of it?
Yes, you still
have
could. You missed the early bird pricing, but you could still sign up. I don't know. Maybe it was extended. We'll see what the chairwoman can do, but I can't promise anything. But definitely sign up. You can still sign up. There's, as I mentioned, there's still a few spots for the golf tournament, and that's separate from your registration for convention. And there's also the international luncheon. We have an international luncheon on Wednesday, which is separate from your convention ticket. So these are separate line items, but everything you can find on our website, chcc2025.com.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
It's such a pleasure meeting you. Yeah.
Likewise, I know. Sorry we didn't get to
Thank
meet
you.
last year, but I have seen you online because I've been following you, and then with Valerie, she's talked very highly of both of you. So thank you so much for having me, and thank you, Valerie, for the
Thank
invitation.
you.
I appreciate it.
We wish you all the best.
So don't forget, every Monday, tune in. We'll see you guys next. I mean, not every Wednesday. Sorry, I said I'm used to saying
Wednesday, 7 a.m.
Wednesday, 7 a.m. Your business resource. All right, we'll see you guys next week.